If I was starting my own business, I would consider getting a construction company. With previous family knowledge, I would get the help of my father um, to help me start this business. Starting a business can get very stressful, and there are many things I would like to consider. A brief description of this construction business would be that we would focus on the startup of commercial businesses and residential homes. This means that we would create the foundations. We would offer to create foundations for structures like buildings or houses. Without a stable structure of a building, like a business complex or an apartment or a home, we would not be able to build on top of that home, like the framing or the roof or the inside of the home. So without the foundation, we wouldn't be able to create the rest of the house. I believe this is a great business for small cities that are trying to grow businesses and homes. Um, in the city that I grew up in, it started as a small city and it has grown 4 or 5 times the size due to businesses being created and homes expanding and population coming to the city. There are many factors that can affect the supply and demand for a business like this. If specific resources aren't provided, then my business cannot be successful. Currently, today, there is a scarcity of wood and other supplies that really affect a business like this. For example, wood like plywood or 2x4s, there are in short supply today and are also in cause of high inflation. So imagine if a piece of wood used to be $1 and now it is $10. This means the whole job estimate that you are trying to create for this potential employer will now be doubled. Most customers do not want to pay for a pricey job. This, for example, can cause a downfall for supply and demand. We as the company buy resources from the seller. We provide another resource with that material, and like the foundation, then we sell it to prospective buyers. Products or services that we will need in order for our business to be successful would be first wood, concrete because the foundation is built on concrete, tools, nails, forms, and of course, the most important would be labor. With all this material in hand and with the labor needed, you need to be inconsiderate of how much you are willing to pay your labor to create this job and how much you are willing to spend on material to make this job a good ideal price for the customer. The economic indicators that I would be most interested in knowing before I would consider opening a business would be the gross domestic product, inflation, the stock market, home sales, business sales, and of course unemployment to see why or how I could find labor to finish this job. A comparative advantage that I would personally create would be having a good price for the customer, but also producing a quality work or job. You always want to be considerate of the customer and see how much they are willing to pay, but also produce a high quality job that will also bring you sufficient income for your employees and for yourself. I believe creating a business and starting up a business is very difficult, and there are way more many factors that you have to be considerate of when opening a huge company or even a small company, such as a restaurant or just a personal at home company. You always have to think of yourself as the owner, the customer, and you as the buyer and seller. There are always many things that could go wrong in a business, and you always have to keep an open mind when starting up a business. Always think positive and always have the right set of mind to move on with things and to create a better atmosphere for yourself and this job.